Hey guys, Tania Rubin with Wine Country Living, and this is episode 55 of Temecula Uncorked. And today we are talking about this little yellow fruit. So Temecula Uncorked is a weekly live that we do here in Temecula to get out, explore wine country, share the best places to go for a romantic dinner, share wineries that maybe are great for a picnic, wineries that may be more dog friendly than others. Kind of the show about what's going on in the Temecula Valley and how to enjoy everything that we have here and everything that the valley has to offer. And earlier this week, in the Wine Country Living Facebook group, I posted a photo and asked if anyone could identify this fruit. I don't even know if I identified it as a fruit, but many people rightly, correctly, identified this as a gooseberry. They either reached out to me directly or posted some derivative of that in the comments. And so I have found, here's the package that we found at Trader Joe's. I found it at Trader Joe's. This fruit, today we're going to dig into a little bit about this fruit and why we're talking about it. Because it is in season right now, and it is often a fruit that you will see noted on wine labels as, the smell of gooseberry, the taste of gooseberry. So my stepson, my newly minted sommelier stepson, and I were discussing gooseberries one day, and the next day I went to Trader Joe's and found the gooseberries, and so we set about learning a little bit about gooseberries and thought it would be kind of fun to share what I learned with you. So this is the package they come in, and you'll note right at the very top it says golden berry. So the first thing I think I discovered is that the gooseberry, and in particular this is kind of known as like the Cape gooseberry, is known by many names. So it might be known in Colombia, I believe it is, as Uchava. Let me double check my notes. Yes, Uchava. In Colombia, in India, it is known as Rasbhari, which is Rasbhari. In Cape, the Cape gooseberry term comes from South Africa. It is also known as a ground cherry, and in Peru, it is known as a Physalis peruviana. So the Peru is derivative right there in the name of the fruit. So the ground cherry I thought was interesting because we were tasting and smelling the Peruvian fruit, the Cape gooseberry, and we, my stepson, I may be misquoting him, but I think he said it was like a cherry and a cherry tomato had a baby. This was the fruit that they would make, and I kind of feel like it was that was pretty good if you added in a little bit of what's going on with the inside, which is kind of reminiscent of a tomato, and they are in the nightshade family, so that is not too shocking. On the outside, the skin of the gooseberry, it's almost oily. I don't know if you can see the sheen. I'm trying to get up there and really show you that sheen, but it's really kind of almost sticky and a little bit oily, kind of like, sticky and oily. I don't know how much more specific I can be than that. And that doesn't wash off, which is kind of interesting. That texture remains on the fruit. It doesn't really have a flavor, that the texture remaining on the fruit, but the inside, as you can see, kind of looks like a slightly dry cherry tomato. It really doesn't have a liquid. I could hold it upside down and kind of has that appley, almost persimmon texture on the inside. That was the word I was looking for, was the persimmon. So that's the inside of the Uchava or goldenberry fruit, or the gooseberry, depending. I really like the fruit of many names. So many names on this fruit, hard to keep track. So on with the gooseberry details. The texture, I think, right on of the cherry tomato and a cherry had a baby, and then maybe a little bit of persimmon if you've had that. This fruit goes way back to English gardens and has quite a rich heritage. And when it comes to wine, you're going to see it noted a lot in cooler climate. Sauvignon Blancs are highly noted for their gooseberry like note, flavor, and scent. I wonder if I set that over there, if it will stay in the, I got a little gooseberry in the background. So that's a little note on what the scent is and where we're going to find it. One of the things that was also interesting, so you're going to see it if you look on a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, almost without fail, you'll note that it'll comment about the note of the gooseberry, whether it is the flavor or the scent. One of the things I found really interesting is in digging deeper, that scent and flavor note don't actually come from the grape. It actually comes from the result of the yeast action in the wine. The gooseberry, I'm going to read this because it's a little bit technical. The gooseberry and passion fruit aromas of the Sauvignon Blanc come from the sulfur-containing compounds that are released during fermentation from non-odoriferous precursors of the grape. So that was kind of an interesting. Is my camera falling? It's on a tripod, but I feel like we're going a little sideways. Anyhow, so that's kind of interesting. You'll also sometimes see the note on Rieslings and Gewürztraminer. So that's a little bit about that. And I really think, aside from kind of going into where the fruit comes from, and the English variety of the gooseberry is also going to be found and cultivated both wildly and otherwise in England and through some of those regions. Interestingly, apparently it grows better from seed. A lot of seeds, like thousands of seeds to get a few plants germinating, and it does a better job germinating from the seed than it does from a stalk transplant, which is interesting, as the grapes definitely are not that way. I did love the ground cherry name because I feel like that almost best describes the fruit and how I would have noted it. And then it's actually a super healthy fruit. It's super high in antioxidants and has a lot of nutrient benefits. So it's anti-inflammatory, it's good for hypertension control, it's good for lung cancer, it helps with the body's absorption of potassium. So there's actually a lot of nutrition packed into that one little fruit berry. So that's kind of a summation on the gooseberry. Curious to know, is this a fruit that you have tried? It's in season now. We got this at Trader Joe's late last week, so you can go to your market. But have you tried it? What do you think of it? Do you notice it when you're tasting for wine? Definitely an interesting exercise to get the fruit and get a Sauvignon Blanc that has some flavor note profiles of the gooseberry and open one up and do that side-by-side comparison. We did that last week and definitely could smell and taste the gooseberry in the wines where they were noted. We had one where we were like, you know what? It's definitely in this wine significantly more than it is in the other. And they were both Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand. One was a 2017 and one was a 2018. So it's interesting. The cooler year definitely seemed to play a factor in whether or not the notes were higher or lower. So that was what was going on with the gooseberry. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. Last week's tour of Wilson Creek was super, super popular. You guys really seemed to enjoy getting that tour. tour. So if you have other wineries that you want me to go and give you that ground tour, definitely let me know which ones I should hit next. But based on the feedback from last week, we will be adding those tours into the mix here on Temecula Uncorked. If you know someone who loves wine country, definitely please share Wine Country Living, the group, with them, and share this video with them, share one of our other videos. Definitely come out and join the Wine Country Living Facebook. It is the largest, fastest growing, most engaged wine country group in the Temecula Valley. We have a lot of fun over there talking about what's going on in the valley, what's coming up, and what is exciting. People share their trips, people share their events that they have going on. It is a fun group dedicated to what's happening in the Temecula Valley, so definitely check that out. My name is Tania Rubin. Wine is what I do for fun. Real estate is my business. So if you have someone that needs to buy or sell, or just needs a real estate advisor in their life, sort of guiding them and giving them some insight, I am here to help and happy to do so. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week, and we will be back again next week with another episode of Temecula Uncorked. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave your comments, likes, and so on in the comment section. They mean so much. They really help Facebook to share this and expose this to other people who love wine country just like we do. Take care. Have a great week. Bye, everyone.